Welcome to our channel. Today we're going to see about conditional statements in C++. First we are going to see if, else if, loop, while loop, for loop and while loop. So let's start. Stream. Here I'm just including the input output stream using namespace standard library. Here it is main function where I have return 0. I don't have anything that I have to return here. So first let's see if condition good int a. Here I'm just declaring a variable named a, so I will going to have a memory named a. Let's assign a, that doesn't mean equal to, rather assign an integer a to the variable named a. So if I have a certain condition, if a greater than or equal to 5, let me print out certain statement based on this condition. Cout let than the number is greater than 5. Here the scope of this if condition is within the curly braces. If this condition is true, it will going to execute these statements in the curly brace, so this will be displayed in the screen. Rather, else if, or we can say else cout the number is not greater than 5. You can say that. So let me save it, Ctrl S, then I will going to compile this statement right here. Here I will going to use the compiler G++, then the name of the C++ file is state.cpp. so I have compiled, so I will going to run it. Here it displays this one because 8 is greater than 5, so the number is greater than 5. So this is the condition, which means something will going to print it out based on a certain condition. If certain condition is true, it will going to print certain text, or it's going to do certain task based on that condition. Else it will going to output the other based on the condition that we defined during the program. So we have seen a if condition. What if we do have another condition here? Whether it is 0, it is negative, it will going to print this statement. But we can add another statement. I can add this if, else if a greater than or equal to, I can say here 7. Let me make it here 9. Number greater than 9. Here number greater than 7. As it executes sequentially, it will first get this statement. if a is greater than 7. 9, it will compare 8 with 9, so the condition is false. Then it will going to see this condition. Still this is let me make it 10. Still it's false, so it will going to find another condition, else if a greater than or equal to 8. Let me print out certain statement here. See out. The number is greater than or equal to 8. Here, as it executes sequentially from top to bottom, first it will get this statement. Since this statement is false, it will going to check another and also it is false. So finally, else if a greater than or equal to 9, it's true. So this will be the output. Let me compile it again. I can execute this just like this. The number is greater than 5. That it shouldn't have to be. I think I didn't save it. You can see this. I didn't save it, so it will going to execute the compiled file, the previous compiled file. So let me see the change. Let me save it, this one. Well, let me clear the screen here. After that, I will going to compile it again. Good. Let me execute this. So to this place, the number is greater or equal to a. So this statement has been executed. Here we have a multiple if statements. So we have seen this. What's left is, we have seen those two conditional statements. What's left is loop. So I can create another statement here. Loop does cpp. So let me write include string using namespace std, just using the standard library. So I was going to create the main skeleton of the C++ program. Come on, here return 0. Doesn't have anything that it is going to return. We're going to remove this parameter. What I have, it's not correct. Space. Okay, good. So let me show you how we're going to implement loop. Loop means implementing or executing certain thing repeatedly based on how many times it will going to repeat. For example, if I want to print out hello world 5 times, hello world, without using any loop statement, I have to write this 5 times. Right, one is left here. 1 2 3 4 5. Good. So let me compile this. The ++ loop.cpp. Good. Then I will going to run it. a.exe. So I print hello world 5 times. Here there is a wastage of time as well as a wastage of memory. I will going to consume many much memory here. So if I use loop statement, I will going to do this task, the same this task with a single line statement. So I will going to show you how we will going to do it. So let me change this one. Let me comment this. So the compiler will going to ignore this statement what has been written with the delimiter. So while let me declare first int I is equal to 0, it's counter, while I less than or equal to 4, it will print out hello world, hello world, and or we can say slash n new line after printing. So let me see how it works. First, here is we are declaring I, or we can say counter. So here after that I think I have to change this one as well. Counter is equal to counter class 1, or we can write in short counter plus plus. This means counter which is equal to counter plus 1. We can say instead of this we can write here. Good. First I declare counter to be 0, then I will going to get this while statement. While counter less than or equal to 4, 0. So for the first time counter is 0, initialized as to be 0. So 0 less than or equal to 4, that's true. Then it will going to print out this statement. Then after counter will going to increment. So counter will be 1. Then again 1 is less than or equal to 4, that's true. It will going to print second time. Then counter will going to increment again with 1. After that counter will going to increment. Counter will be 2. Hereafter 2 less than or equal to 4, that's true. It will going to print out. Then after it will going to increment this by 1. A counter will going to be 3 is less than or equal to 4, that's true. It will going to print out this. Then 4 less than or equal to 4, that's true. It will going to print hello world. Then after counter will going to increment. Here counter will going to be 5. The condition will going to check whether 5 is less than or equal to 4. 5 is not less than or equal to 4. This is false condition. So it will going to be out of this curly brace. The scope of this while is in this. So if I want to display something when this condition is false, let me see out. Let me write something. See out. Shift less than. The condition has been failed after 4 iteration. I mean 5 iteration. 5 iteration. Condition. The condition has been filled after 5 iteration. So after printing out hello world 5 times, it will going to print this one, because 5 will be less than or 5 is not less than or equal to 5. So after getting that condition, this will going to be displayed. So let me compile this. I can use this loop. Okay. Loop a.exe hello. It prints hello world 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then after the condition has been filled after 5 iteration. So this will be how the while loop works. This is it going to make sure whether the condition is true first. The other is do while loop. Do while loop. Do while loop. Let me check it. Let me have this .cpp hash include our string using namespace std int name return 0. Good. Let me print the first five integers. For do okay. Out less than. First let me declare int a and c counter is equal to 5. Okay, while 5 less than, while c greater than or equal to 0. Here I can say out the integer is, then I can display out c. Let's see how it works. First it will going to do this statement, then after c will going to increment with 1. First c is initialized to be 5. Other let me decrement by 1. C minus means this means the same as c, which is equal to c minus 1. This is the same. You can write this in place of this, or you can write this one, either of the two. It's working, right? So first it will going to print out the integer is, then c is 5, that's it. 5 will be printed out. Then after 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. Then it will going to check the condition. First, it will going to print this, then decrement by 1. Then c will be 4. Is 4 less than or greater than or equal to 0? That's true. Then it will going to print this one. After printing, c will be 3. It will going to check this one. 3 is greater than or equal to 0. That's true. Then it will going to implement this one. Then c will be 2. Then after 2 will be checked whether it is greater than or equal to 0. That's true. It will going to print out this. Then c will be 1 finally. Is 1 greater than or equal to 0? Yes, it will print out the 1. Then after it will decrement by 1. Decrement by 1. So 5 will finally c will be 0. 0 is greater than or equal to 0. That's true. It will going to print out 0, then after it will going to decrement by 1, it will be -1, then it will going to print out this, then after it will check. The main difference between while loop and do while loop is that do will going to do false for the first iteration, because it will going to do something before checking whether the condition is true or false. So it will do first mistake. So while is best rather than do while. So let me clear the screen, then after let me compile this one. I don't have any error. So the integer is 5, the integer is 4, the integer is 0. So it will, let me add a new line here after printing. So let me compile it again. This is all about what? Let me make it to look good. Compile it again, clear screen, then after here let me execute. You get this, what if C will be -1? Let me see how it will print out -1. So the integer is 10. Let me make it the condition, whether the condition is true or false. It prints -1, but the condition is false. So do while loop will do false for the first iteration, because it implements or it does certain statements before checking whether the condition is false or true. So using do while loop may not be appropriate for some certain programs. So this is all about the do while. What's left is for loop. So let me see it. Let me create another file for .cpp. Here hash include string using namespace std int main return 0. Good. Let me print the first 4 even numbers. So I can start from I. Let me declare count is equal to 0 4. I can remove this one, or I can declare here. So I can use pause. C count, or we can remove this initialization. Let me initialize here count equal to 0, count condition count less than or equal to 6. Let me make it 6. Then count plus 2. Then I will going to do I think it is making it so out. Okay, good. Let me mark it count. Good. Here, see out. Shift let that. The first even number is 10. Then I will print count. Let's see how it works. I have initialized, I have declared count here. Count is 0 for first time, then condition will be checked, so it will work from this to here. Then after, count will be checked whether it is less than or equal to 6. Then for the first time, count is 0 is less than or equal to 6, the condition is true, then it will implement this statement. So the given number is 0 will be displayed here. After that, it will go into count. So the step it goes is declaration, then checking whether the condition is false or true, then after implementing this, since the scope of this for loop is this in this curl brace, so it will going to check this one. Then after implementing this, it will going to increment count with 2. So count will be 2. Is 2 less than or equal to 6? That's true. So it will going to print out count 2 will be displayed. Then after it will going to increment again. Count will be 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 6? That's true. So it will be displayed this one. Then after count will be 6. Is 6 less than or equal to 6? That's true. So 6 will be displayed. Then after count will going to increment by 2. Here count will be 8. Is 8 less than or equal to 6? False. So it will going to exit out of this scope. This is scope. So it will print 0, 2, 4, 6 will be the output of this for loop. So let's check it here. Let me clean the screen. Then let me compile the statement for CPP. I don't have any error, so I can run it. The reason that the loop couldn't be able to end up is that here count was not incrementing right here. 0 is always less than or equal to 6. That's why the loop doesn't end or exit out from certain conditions. So here I will correct this statement with count which is equal to count plus 2. Let me set it again. Then here let me compile it. I've got the first 4 consecutive even numbers from 0 up to 6. So this is all about the conditional statements. Next we will see other remaining things, and please share, subscribe, like,